This is the Infotainment Center in the Horizon or Grand Tour by Winnebago. It's also a system that's used in several other motorhomes. Touching the menu button on the driver's screen, first thing I'm changing, I pull up the aux zone, and the secondary monitor is the one that's in front of the co-pilot. From the driver's screen, I can change whatever the co-pilot wants to see. House mode would be if I want to network this system to the TVs. I have another video on my channel as to how that operates. Touch the tire pressure sensor monitor, and you can see where it brings up all of the tires, individual tire pressures. You can set alarms. It's a very simple system to use. Now we're going to take a look at the navigation system. If you touch in the lower left-hand corner, you can see that there is a tutorial built into this program, since it does not come with a printed owner's manual. RV tools would be where I would set my heights, my widths, my weight, the way I wanted to route the coach. In this case, this is an all-electric motorhome, so I don't have any propane. And you can see where you would change the length, and if you're towing a trailer or towing your car, change the weight of the vehicle, your height. And then when you're using this system, it should never put you down a road where there's a conflict. There are pre-launch checklists on here where you can actually go through and set up your individual checklist. You can put in maintenance notes, like if you do something on the motorhome and want to record that. You can also, there's a fuel tracker if you're tracking how much your fuel expenses are. Maybe you're using your coach for business. This is a great place to store that information. There's a number of other functions on there. Today I'm just going to hit the highlights. This would be where you enter a location, address, city center. See, I'm hitting the back button to get it to go back to the previous screen. There are some pre-programmed quick stops on there, things that could be of interest to an RVer. Address book would, if there was anything saved, would work just like it does in your, if you have a Garmin or something like that, where you would have all of your locations pre-programmed in. Now I've brought up the camera screen. You can manually choose the rear camera, left or right if you happen to be in a construction area, without having to have the turn signal on. The nav system will work behind this camera, so you can have your camera up all the time. Now, let's enter an address. The first thing you do is you start by typing the destination city. And in this case, Washington, D.C. Then you enter the house number or building number of your destination. Click enter. And you can see it will start making suggestions for you. At any point you can click list and it'll list them out, or the minute it's figured out where you want to go, it just pops that address up. Now I click begin the route. At this time it's calculating the best route for us to go on. It's also matching up what it knows about the route and about our motorhome, so we shouldn't be any bridges where we're too heavy or any loads where we can't fit through. This entire system is driven by an SD card, which is in the cabinet just above the driver's compartment. Now, it's 1,044 miles to our final destination. You can see here's our coach. As we're traveling down the way, you can bring up what's available at the next exit. So if maybe we're thinking we needed to stop for fuel or stop and get something to eat, you can see that as we're sitting here, just off of, in this case, just off of I-40, it's showing us what's available at the next exits and how far it is to the next exit and what all we would be finding along the way. In the meantime, I can pull it up on the map on the left-hand side. I can actually move the map around if I'm trying to figure out just where exactly this is. To make that disappear, I simply punch to arrow back. Now, that's how you cancel a route. That's one of the most difficult things people have, is you hit the little gear wheel on the left, and then it brings up to cancel the route. To get back to the main menu, I just touch in the lower right-hand corner instead of using the back arrow button. One of the other ways we can navigate is we can just punch in the center of a city if we know that's a direction we want to head, or it happens to be a small town that once we get there, we can pretty well find everything. Say we want to go to Forest City, Iowa. So I just start typing Forest City. There's Forest City, Iowa. And now I tap begin route. At any point, I can also save these into my address book if I want to. Or if I wanted to compare routes, maybe there's several different ways to get there, I can do that as well. Now, it's told us we're 664 miles away and we'll arrive at 1:30 a.m. Again, I touch down in the lower left-hand corner. I'm going to cancel out of that route. You can see in the lower right-hand corner, that'll bring back up the main menu button. Or that's where you touch to bring up the main menu. Another way you can navigate is by an intersection. Say we wanted to go out near Weatherford, Oklahoma, which happens to be my hometown. There, I want Weatherford, Oklahoma, not Weatherford, Texas. The primary street out there is Airport Road. You can see there's not a lot of selections, so I touch on Airport Road. Now, on the intersecting street, I start typing. I can also, if it's a numbered road, like a county road, then I just simply in the lower left-hand corner bring up the numbers, and it's only going to show you what it knows is available. And there's a couple of county roads that intersect it, and this happens to be the one that I'm looking for. So now it's going to take me in Weatherford, Oklahoma to the junction of Airport Road and the county road near where I grew up. You can see we're 376 miles from there. We'll arrive at 7:53 p.m. tonight, just in time for dinner. I can turn the volume up and down on the left. Again, touching the lower left-hand corner, I'm going to cancel out of that route. One of the last ways that you can navigate using this system is if you're like in a national park or a state park, you can navigate using waypoints, longitude and latitude. You can also do multiple stop trips. This is a very powerful system. This is just a quick demo of the simpler operations of the Infotainment Center.